Hi, this is David Matthew, presenting the final submission of my Writing Assistant app for software documentation writers, DocWise AI. Previously, we showed the following features: allowing users multiple workspaces, each of which holds a collection of documents, incorporating GitHub repo context for a workspace and user-chosen context for each document, general purpose grammar and spelling suggestions using generative AI rather than using rule-based methods, context-aware style and grammar suggestions based on the surrounding text in a document, and documentation generation using knowledge of the user's GitHub repository. In the final revision, we made the following improvements: ironed out the bugs and edge cases the user would run into in creating workspaces and indexing GitHub repos, ironed out bugs that were slowing down performance of the app related to React framework state updating logic, and added some useful AI features as part of future planned feature improvements. Note the app still supports only JavaScript, TypeScript, JSX, and TSX GitHub repos. These will easily expand to other programming language types. So first thing we're going to do is sign in. Here we go. Okay. And last time we were having some redirect loading issues, which have been resolved. We can create a workspace like last time. Demo 6. And you can see it loads now compared to last time where it wasn't. You can see the repository hasn't been indexed yet because we haven't input one. We can delete that workspace. And now I'm going to show how the indexing improvements. So I'm going to get a Git repo. Okay. Git repo URL. And we're going to give it a commit SHA. And you can see what happens here. The repository indexing hasn't started. We implemented WebSockets. We got the front-end WebSocket issues working. However, we couldn't get the UI to update correctly. So as a workaround to tell the user how to deal with this issue, we give them instructions in the at the top, which say to resave changes. And then you can see that when we open the workspace, it starts indexing the repository. And we can come back at the end and show when it's completed. So in the meantime, we will, let's see. So, okay, we'll go into my workspace and we will just show some of the correction of simple grammar and spelling errors. We can still edit while that's happening. How are you? Okay, this is working. And we can see that it gives, along with, so this is tone. It will also give these spelling suggestions as well. If we reload, and yeah, it's not blocking. We can do this while we're editing the document, and it will incrementally update as we go. Let me see. So let me see if it will, just for the demonstration, if it will pick up the spelling mistakes. That's a feature we can add. we prioritize the top 10 suggested edits and then continue refreshing as we go. So let me just remove some of this and see if it will work correctly. It should be prioritizing spelling and grammar if there are misspellings. We can see that it did correct breakfast, lunch, and dinner, even though it gave an inconsistent tone. So that shows the spelling checks. It also shows some context-aware style and grammar suggestions. And now we are going to take this README, and I want to see if this workspace is done indexing yet. So if we can come down here, it's still indexing, so we will go to my workspace. And in the README, we'll just copy paste the README from this repository. Okay, copy, paste. Okay, and the new feature we added was the ability to generate, not only to put this context in, but to generate it from the document itself. That's a planned feature. One of the planned features we want to implement in the future. Well, along with this one, there are others. And you can see it gives a nice goal, a nice document type. And then we want to generate documentation for a function. So I'm going to parse port, and then as a user flow, you can say, oh, I'm doing function documentation here. And then, okay, I want to generate documentation for this, this function name. And let me see. Oh, you know what? I am in the wrong, I'm in the wrong workspace. Let me go see if demo 7, okay. So this is complete. So now what we'll do is we will copy paste that documentation in. Note that this is linked to the correct repo. As another feature, we would want to do type ahead for this. We have all the function identifiers indexed, and we could do a type ahead completion to aid the user in that. And you can see it gives a nice doc block. And let me just generate this doc info again. And parse port. Okay. And it gives a nicer doc block after adding that context. But we're in a user guide, so it's probably picking up editor and thinking it wants a doc block, so we can put user guide here and do it again. And you can see it gives a nice description. Yep, so that's everything. Lots of, yeah. Anyway, this was frustrating. Thank you for watching. And lots of things that I want to implement in the future, such as being able to highlight uh, a part of text, and then ask to generate in a tab over here, ask to generate um, uh, edits to see if anything is stale based on maybe uh, um, like function signatures changing and so forth. Also misspelled function identifiers and other identifiers, um, among other features. And yeah, so this is what I have, and thanks for watching.